Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for PLUM, and I've built PLUM kits before, kind of like the Takeda, Oda, and all those Japanese warrior robot looking things. And this caught my attention, and it looks awesome. It actually comes from a game that I've not played, so my knowledge on this one is pretty much none. Other than it looks awesome. So this is the Powerdolls2. It's actually the second release. The first one has the white, mostly white with blue color. This one is mostly black or kind of like gray. Then you have a bit of orange highlights. So pretty interesting. And let's go on with the review. Here's the box. It's actually really big, and just a comparison. Here's the master grade ARC78 3.0. Yeah, the box is really huge. It's really nice. I might just keep this box. I usually collapse my boxes, but this one, I might just keep it. It's really nice. Looking into this, we got really nice on the side. And I do want to point out, you're looking at 9,500 yen. This is quite expensive kit. Like one of those higher end of master grades. Yep. Kinda wish I understand that one. This comes with the landing unit. A little different from the first one that came out, which I'm actually hoping I can find a review for it, but I cannot find one, only an unboxing. So I'm doing a review now, but we got the second one, which is not too bad. Alright, inside we got an illustrated booklet, and we got a bunch of instructions here. It's kind of interesting because after the first 2 pages, it seems like you already built a lot, but it kind of goes on. And it feels like building a master grade actually. There's a lot of parts. Yep. And there's a color guide on the back. There's no sticker sheet on this one. It's kind of like a Kotobukiya kit. No sticker sheet, but part separation is really good. And that's pretty much it for that. Instructions. You do have a separate piece. It's just the, I think, the landing gear. And it gives you instructions on how to build it. So this is probably an add-on from the first one. I think the first one just have this, and this is a separate piece. Alright, I get size comparison with the ARC78. Again, this is a master grade, and let's see if I got my ruler here. I would have to say the master grade is about 7¼ inch. So they're about the same height. So 7¼ inch tall. It's quite huge. Yep. Moving this aside, we got this unit right here. It looks amazing. Actually, I want to add something, and this in terms of constructing this. If you are get this kit and building it, if you're working on the load, the landing gear or whatever thing goes in his back, I found that certain parts, like especially this one here, there's a peg that connects to this part here, and this part is the IPC3. It's a polycap with a hollow or hole in there, which the peg goes through. Now the peg, it's not rounded on the edges, and it ends up digging up inside that polycap, and I had that issue. Actually, there's several parts that are like that. So what you want to do is get your cutters and trim around that, round out that edges of that peg, and that way it will go through it quite easily. And you know, it helped me a lot on the second set I have to do. So just a quick tip right there. And here we have the kit. I have to say this is really amazing. And let's just go over the little details here and there. Now you'll see there's red parts here. It's actually made of a polycap, and it looks amazing how they've designed that. It attaches towards the front of the hub here, and also attached on the back. Now, with that in mind, it actually there's no head articulations because of that. Because once you start moving that, it dislodges the polycaps, and it could be a little problematic putting it back. So basically his head is fixed, which is not really a deal breaker there. I mean, you're getting a lot of cool details there. So unfortunately, it's not designed for you to move it. You got a really nice orange here. I do like that. Yep. And you got the backpack here. You actually can remove this, and if I can remove this without dislodging something else, there we go. Actually, might as well remove this. Kind of forget how it attaches. I think there's just, there we go. Yeah, there's corners that kind of clamps on it. So that's that part there. There's not much going on in the back. Otherwise, we do have this polycap red pieces here as well, and which actually I found problematic. The instruction looks like this this side here is on the other side, and when you look at the images, it's like this one. So I just went with the images on the box. And another thing, it's supposed to be flexible, but it kind of it goes back to its original form. And I don't know why they've added this. It's a straight peg. I actually find this really problematic to put on. Because when you bend the knee, it actually goes in without a problem, but you cannot put this in any longer. The red pieces kind of push this up. So if this were on a hinge, oh yeah, if this was designed with a hinge, so it will flap up like this, it will be great. But it's not, unfortunately. So I'm gonna see if I can create a hinge for that, but for now, yeah. And this actually is connected on a straight peg here. It goes on both ends, so when you turn one, the other one turns as well. Yep. Actually supposed to feed this in first. Yeah, so it's a nifty design. So when you bend this, it actually turns this too. Push it back. Yeah, so I have a problem with that one. So I still need to figure a way to properly implement that. Yeah. Sometimes I find that you should just put this in first before putting the rods in. But there we go. So over the course of this review, that might end up popping out. And here's the next problem. I'm going to the problems first. Jeez. It's actually quite loose, which I don't mind. It's just a front guard. It doesn't really need to hold its place. So that's a little loose. But this polycap here on the feet, ankle, basically, it's not solid. And actually the other one is loose. It keeps popping off. The polycap is just not strong enough to grab that ball joint. And you know, you can use different approaches with that. You can put a clear coat on top, let it dry, and put it back on. Some people use super glue. I tried heavy cement, but the heavy cement kind of just, what do you call it, dries up and it still peels off. So you can just use a little bit of piece of paper, which I've done, and gives you a little bit more traction. But this is just too loose, and no matter how you look at it, you got so much thing going on top, especially the ties. It weighs it down and it tends to topple over. So that's one of the issues I want to point out. Other than that, I think I covered most of the issues in terms of limitations. Let's go with articulation. Continuing on, again, there's no head articulation. You can move the shoulders quite nicely. There's a flap there, including this little piece inside. It's actually quite sharp, and be careful when this thing is all the way down. When you're turning it, it's gonna hit that. So you make sure it's opened up a little bit so it doesn't get hit. Then you get a swivel here for the bicep. Then you have the elbow, and you only get a 90. This polycap here, or this plastic piece, doesn't really give you much. Actually, it's the hinge here on the forearm. Yeah. Then you do have a flap here, which gives you a little bit more articulation, especially when you folding the arms and holding the rifle like so. You have a kind of like a standard rifle here, and you have kind of like a bazooka shotgun here, or it could be a shotgun. Yep, it looks cool. And again, let me just open this up. There we go. Get that polycap back in there. Then you have the waist. Now the waist, it really moves. And there's really no skirt in terms of Gundam. This one, yeah, it's free moving. Then you have the huge thighs. There we go. And I think I just, well, that gray piece right there hits the top, so you can't really move it that much. But then again, it's not meant, these ties are not meant for kicking. Well, I'm not too sure. Maybe in the game, it's made for, it seems like a ground type, and it's probably made for jumping, or just, it's just a weird design, but that's probably where the power is. Because his core, it's not, I mean, you have the pallet inside here. This is probably where the generator is, I would assume. You get some nice details back here. Again, it would be nice if this actually flaps. Yeah. You get this thing that kind of slides out. It's just on the hinge. Not sure if that's might be thrusters or vents. I already showcased the knee. Again, you're very limited on what you can do because of how this is designed. You can just remove this one, then you have a working knee. If you, I mean, since it's on the back. Yeah. Else, it's stuck. This front, the protection here, I found this a little weird. The way the instructions say it just hooks onto that. It's not really, I wish it was a poly cap. And when you put this on, it doesn't, it does not work, in my opinion. It feels like this is getting pushed out. Yeah, I mean, it does cover the knee a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. You can do a wide stance. You get the ankle here again. You can do that movement there. And I think that's about it for the articulation. Other than that, you have a pair of hands. I already shown that one for holding the 3 finger hands. You have closed fist. And you also have open hands right here. So you got 3 pairs of hands, which is great. Other than that, let's go on with the this thing's here, the backpack. And there's always something I forget. So again, likewise, I would recommend just removing the back piece here. It gives you the knee bend articulation that you needed. And with this ankle here, one thing I forgot is you can actually bend this toe here. There's a bit of a toe movement there, and actually you can really extend that forward. It's ridiculous, but it's there. Try to get this thing back. I don't think there's anything on the back side, so that's, I mean, I don't know sure when you're gonna be needing that, but I mean, I guess on a certain pose where you have this you're bending this, get that ball joint back there. You know, something like that, you know, wide stance, you know, why not? Alright, next up is the landing unit. And it has some not nice power lines here and there. Not too bad. It's actually rather plain. It's just huge. Alright, so when you're connecting this one, it's actually oriented, this one goes on the left, the other one goes on the right. And you look at it from this angle, this one is actually a little bit bigger than this one. So this one just claps on here. There we go. Yeah, there's no click. Just kind of held by friction. There we go. I think I got it on there. I think. So there we go. And to deploy this, you basically just lift this up here. Then you just move it up here. Just kind of goes in front between the shoulder and the head. Then you can move this up. There's actually a poly cap there that holds this in place. Actually tends to pop out. You just get in there, and see the thrusters here. You get the little ones there. really cool. And on the front here, so it's just something that's, it's huge, but it's thin. And I think this is just used to propel him forward. Yeah, I'm not too sure what they call the landing unit. Well, this one seems like a ground type to me, meaning that yeah, finding something over there's gravity. You got this huge, powerful ties. Probably use it to jump or something. Again, I have not seen the show or game, if there is any for the show, but it's cool. I like it. But more than likely, I'll probably have it deployed this way, or not have it non-deployed way. Just have it folded down. It's kind of like a hair. And again, size comparison. We have Kotobukiya's Frame Arms Catlass over here. We have PLUM's Powerdolls2, and we have Bandai's Gundam over here, ARC-78-2, and they look amazing. So the build of this one is kind of like a master grade. There's a lot of parts, but it's not too bad. Overall, I really like it. Especially, I really like the design and the highlights of orange. You know, I gotta have it. Other than that, I've already mentioned that there are a few flaws on the design, in my opinion, that could have been better. Just giving you a heads up. And the price point, that's probably what's gonna get a lot of people. You are looking at around 90, 100 bucks on this guy. Yeah, and I'm still debating if I want to get the first one with the same issues. I'm probably just gonna stick with this one, with that in mind. Who knows? I mean, if there's a clearance sale on the first one, I might get it. Otherwise, that's about it for the review for the Powerdolls2. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.